Hi, I'm Marilyn. Welcome back. I'm in a slump. The dreaded creative drought. So in this video, I'd like to share with you what I've learned about artist block and 5 tips for dealing with it. I haven't picked up a paintbrush or made one of these art videos in a month. And I just can't seem to generate the enthusiasm or the energy to make art or make videos. This feels different than having a lot of ideas and not knowing where to start, and we've talked about that before. So I'm thinking I'm not the only one who has ever suffered from this, and because misery loves company, I'm hoping we can kind of figure it out together. So according to scientists, creative drought has its origin in the space between our ears. Not surprising, right? So it seems the more pressure that we put on ourselves to produce, and in this case, produce art, the more anxiety we generate. Anxiety stimulates the limbic system, causing the brain to release stress hormones. And then the limbic system stops communicating with the cerebral cortex, which is the part of the brain that's responsible for creativity. So there you have it. Apparently, the trick is to outsmart our anxious brains. The good news is that slumps are temporary. There is an ebb and flow to creativity that gives our minds a chance to rest and allows us the space, time, freedom to think of new ideas, consider different approaches, or to just chill out. Well, I am definitely in the season of slump. And I think in order to outsmart my brain, there are 2 things that I need to do. The first is I need to get clear about why I make art. Now, the answer to this question is different for everyone, but it's no less important for each of us to answer in our own way. I am not trying to support my family with my art. I'm not creating videos with the idea of monetizing. I don't ever need to sell a painting to buy art supplies, and I don't really care too much about whether or not I win a prize. I mean, if I do, it's great. I am honored. But if I don't, I really, really am okay with this. When I'm in a slump, I have to remind myself why I make art. I make art for me. And I am really fortunate that I don't depend on my art to put food on the table. If you are in the position where art making is your career, you have a challenge of balancing the production with the eliminating of the stress or decreasing of the stress that comes with a focus on production. It has taken me a long time to figure out why exactly I want to pick up a paintbrush. So I love this quote from Kurt Vonnegut. Practicing art, no matter how well or badly, is a way to make your soul grow, for heaven's sakes. So when you're in a slump, ask yourself why you make art. The second thing that I've learned that I really need to wrap my head around is don't panic. This too shall pass. I'm really trying to look at this current season of slump as a gift. It's a gift of time to reflect and recharge. As Austin Kleon, author of Keep Going, 10 Ways to Stay Creative in Good Times and Bad, reminds us, the creative life is not linear. Like a tree, creative work has seasons, and part of the work is to know which season you're in and act accordingly. So that being said, I am definitely in a period of creative drought. And I am not very patient when it comes to waiting it out. So I've been looking for some strategies for what some people call productive procrastination. And here's some things I found. Number one, unplug. I need to stop inviting anxiety into my world. So if by looking at images of sunlit studios and flawless art on Instagram gets my level of anxiety up that I'm not making art, I just need to stop looking. It's as simple as that. Don't make the problem worse than it already is. Number two, when in doubt, tidy up. This is one of my favorite oblique strategies from Brian Eno and Peter Schmidt. I don't know about you, but I have definitely blown most of a day searching for that one particular paintbrush that I really wanted to use. And by the time I found it, I had totally blown all energy and enthusiasm I had for actually painting. So part of my plan is to do what top chefs do, and that is to practice mise en place, which is set in place. I'm going to use this downtime to tidy up so that when I am ready to make art, my tools are easily accessed and that hunt for the elusive brush won't get in my way of making art. Number three, prep for a post-slump flurry of art making. I discovered this strategy during one of my previous slumps. And here's what I did. I spent a whole day cutting up paper. I cut full-size sheets of watercolor paper into quarter sheets, put them in a bag, labeled them. Half sheets, I created a bunch of 8x10s, just whatever would fit into a standard mat. And I bagged them up and labeled them. So now I have no excuse that I have to go looking for paper so that I can paint. The other thing I did was spend a day with the mat cutter, and I cut mats for standard size frames. And I actually went ahead and dropped them into presentation bags, added a piece of foam core. So again, no excuse that I can't make art because I don't have a mat that will fit this particular painting. I've cut the paper, I've got the mat. I've also used Drought time to make color charts. I've told you before, when I don't know what to paint, I paint. And I really do kind of love the meditativeness of just seeing what my paints will do and how they interact with each other. But it's preparation for when I really am ready to make art. Number four, play with your toys. You know, I have a bunch of things that I've collected over the years, whether from a garage sale or things that my grandkids used to like to mess around with when they came for a visit. So I think during this particular slump, I'm going to get out those pastels that I bought at a garage sale and just make a mess. I might try my hand at color pencils or monoprinting with leftover art or kitchen tools. I have some craft acrylics on the shelf. Maybe I'll see what happens when I play around with those. And you know that sidewalk chalk that your grandkids, maybe you have in your closet like I do? Oh, maybe I'll play with that. But the idea is that in a creative drought, it's a great time to be the mad scientist and experiment with the different tools and toys that you have in your art closet. Number five, find a kindred spirit. I am so fortunate that I have some really good art buddies. And my art buddies feel my pain because they have been in this same place. So they know what I'm going through, and misery loves company. So join a virtual community. In this time of COVID, it's kind of hard to meet up with your favorite sketching group. but you can join a virtual community like Kathy Johnson's Sketch With Me, or join in your local art guild's Zoom meetings or Zoom workshops. It's a great way to connect with other artists. FaceTime or Skype with your art buddy and just find that special someone who delights in your triumphs and commiserates with you when you are in these downtimes. One more thing. A slump is a great time to revisit one of those many art books that you've been collecting over the years. And I'd like to share with you one of my favorites. This is Keep Going by Austin Kleon. I love the subtitle, 10 Ways to Stay Creative in Good Times and Bad. I like Austin Kleon's work. I like the format. It's a quick, easy read with lots of great ideas for maintaining your creative practice. He has 2 other books in this series. One is Show Your Work, 10 Ways to Share Your Creativity and Get Discovered, and Steal Like an Artist, 10 Things Nobody Told You About Being Creative. So if you're looking for a good read, I highly recommend these 3. I put the links in the description below if you're interested. Well, that's it for this lesson. I hope that one of these ideas will help you get through your next season of slump. And really, I mean, what have you got to lose? So thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon as I get out of this creative drought. Bye.